And then there are those days where you come to work and you say to yourself, man, what am I going to talk about today? Because there is a lot of news that, once again, has to do with the streets of our country as opposed to the courts and the ice and this field of our country. And, I've said many times on this radio program, especially since this pandemic hit and the initial killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis, that, I spent 14 years in an NFL locker room. I've been a 20-year or more broadcaster, have worked with a lot of powerful black men, both on the field and in the broadcast booth. And every single one of these men for this amount of years have told me about their stories and about their fears in life. And I always listened, always respected it, and always believed in it. And I can't believe that one more time, again, that we are now in this situation where the NBA has got to take a stand. And I saw some of the arguments back and forth on Twitter last night, and I really don't even want to get involved in Twitter because I think Twitter is a cesspool and a sewer pit for so many reasons, for so many sides. But just sitting there as a human being, wondering how I would react if that were my family member, regardless of what the circumstances were leading up to it. But I totally understand why the NBA players did what they did. And I understand the anger, the frustration, and the emotion. I have listened for years and years and years and years and years, and I've always been sensitive to the facts that the players have often said to me. I have no idea what makes somebody want to shoot somebody in the back 7 times, unless, of course, that person is pointing a gun at somebody else or pointing a gun at you. I cannot comprehend, given the state of where we are in this country, why something like this happens. And I do understand why the players are emotional about this. I do understand that the Milwaukee Bucks are the ones who started this and said, we are not playing. We can say whatever we want and we can parse words, boycotts, postponements. We can play with these words and all this other stuff. The players decided they weren't going to play. That's the bottom line. Now, whether or not these games are going to be played, whether or not the NBA season is going to continue, only the players know in their hearts. And you can see the disgust and the anger, and you can hear it from the players. There's another side to this as well, and that's the police side and what our men and women in uniform face every single day. And they face the unknown, and therefore they take their own lives into their, I guess they put their own lives in the line of duty every single day, and we should be appreciative of that, and we shouldn't ever forget that. And that's why this morning, do I really care if the Mets won or the Yankees won? Do I care if, Jacob deGrom gets the win or Aaron Judge gets a hit or Stanton's not coming back for another 2 weeks? I mean, that seems really inconsequential when you think about what's going on in the world, and everybody talks about having hard conversations. Well, they can't be one-sided hard conversations. Everybody's got to come with an opinion, and everybody's got to be able to talk through things. But, I mean, I wake up this morning, and I think I don't know, I'd like to think that I think for most level-headed people out there that, again, we can't have things like this happening in the street. And then the reaction to it creates an even worse situation. And, you ask for calm, and then there are the people that are going to try to take this and run with it and use it for other reasons, other political reasons, which we all know we're in the middle of a presidential election that's heated. And there are a lot of people on both sides that can't stand each other. And it's manifesting itself in the streets. And it's sad. It's really sad. And especially here in New York or Kenosha, Wisconsin, or Minneapolis or Portland or Seattle, where there is no regard for law and order. There's no regard for hard work that people have put forth their entire lives, and lives are being ruined in so many different ways. And there are those on one side who will say, well, it's worth it because we've sat by for too long and haven't done enough. And then there are going to be those on the other side who say, you know what, this is just incomprehensible that we can't have a society without law and order and a respect for the police. And there's a portion of our society that has no respect for the police, and I think we all recognize that.